Hello guys and welcome to my new video. After an intense and crazy Infinity weekend in Dortmund, we have to focus again on core constructed and set championships, another Sapphire deck list, before we slowly say goodbye to our turn to ramp, bluesteel, Merida in the spotlight today. Before we dive into the deck profile, don't forget to subscribe for more Lorcana videos coming. And now, have fun, let's go. Bluesteel Merida, let's have a quick look at the list in general. If you want to copy it, you will find a link in the video description below. The deck basically is centered around the new legendary Merida card, which makes your damage songs stronger. She can deal more damage. And also Aerial Sonic Warrior, which is a great card. We run a total of 14 songs, and every time you play a song, you can pay to ink to deal 3 damage to another character, which makes this deck really good against aggro decks in general and also dog decks, of course. If you want to copy the list, you will find a link in the video description below. And now let's have a quick look at all my card choices for the deck. In the 1-drop slot, I run 4 copies of the 1-drop Omni Droid, 2 strength, 2 willpower quest for 1, and he works as a shift target for the 6-drop Omni Droid I run in this build as well. And also in the 1-drop slot, to filter through the hand cards, the 1-drop Mulan, 2 strength, 1 willpower quest for 1, and when you play this card, you can draw a card and then discard a card. Basic game plan here is to discard a 3 arrows card, to later retrieve it with Merida from your discard pile. But also, we only run like 14 uninkable cards in this deck. Also, sometimes you clog up your hand as your starting hand even after a mulligan, so you can like get rid of unwanted uninkable cards. High cost cards you can't play anyway. So Mulan is there for filtering, and she also is a princess which can come in handy later in the game with Cinderella on board, because she triggers the Cinderella ability to ink at the end of your turn and draw another card. That's it for the 1-drop slot. I think no more words needed for the 2-drop slot. We have Tipo, 4 copies of Tipo. We have Sail the Asteroid Sea. I think the last time we will see those 2 cards in a blue deck, and that's also the reason I'm focusing on blue decks this set, because I want to give it a last hooray for those 2 cards. I really enjoyed playing blue cards in red, blue, in blue mostly. And yeah, our turn to ramp. I think next set we won't see a reprint of either of those 2 cards, and yeah, blue decks will need to have another game plan. In the 3-drop slot, we have 3 copies of the new card 3 Arrows. It's a 3-cost inkable action card. You can deal 2 damage to a character, then you can choose another character, deal 1 damage. And with Merida on board, you can even deal 4 damage and 3 damage to one of those characters. And what Merida does is, if you play Merida later, you can retrieve this card back from your discard, which is insanely strong. And also in the 3-cost, of course, Strength of Raging Fire. I think no more words needed. 3-cost inkable song, and you can deal damage equal to the number of characters you have on board, which is also very strong, and a song, so you can trigger Aerial Sonic Warrior's ability. Let's get those cards out of the way as well. In the 4-drop slot, we have, of course, our turn 3 ramp, Cinderella. 4-cost uninkable card, 2 strength for willpower quest for 1. And at the end of your turn, if you play the princess, which Cinderella is by herself, you can ink a card and then draw another card. What this does, this ability is very great actually, because then you can ramp up to 6 ink in turn 4 already, and you can play your high cost cards early on and start like threatening the opposing board, stalling the opposing board, and play your big bodies out soon. And I figured a play line. With Cinderella in turn 3, you ramp up to 5 ink, and if you play like a Merida in the next turn, and have some cards, you would ink in this turn. I found not inking after you played Cinderella and played Merida maybe the next turn. You can use one of those cards to put into the inkwell with Cinderella ability, and then draw another card, which makes you draw deeper into your deck and brings you to the card you really want 1 turn earlier. And I found this is a really strong way. I don't do it in every game, but in some games I just don't ink at 5 ink. I rather use Cinderella's ability again to get one more hand card from Cinderella's ability. But let's move on. 4 copies of Thunderbolt, the new Timusus song dealing 4 damage to a character of your choice and also a song, so triggering Ariel's ability. Let's go on with the 5-drop slot. Let's move those cards away, and that's the card I was talking about, the new legendary Merida. It's a 5-cost uninkable card, 3 strength, 5 willpower, quests for 2, and when you play this character, you may return an action card named 3 arrows from your discard to your hand. So, like I said, you want to discard it with Mulan in turn 1, so you can retrieve it later with Merida, have it in hand, and in the next turn, you can use Merida's other ability. Whenever one of your action deals damage to an opposing character, you can deal 2 additional damage with Merida's ability. So you want to keep Merida upright, quest with her only if she's safe to quest. And what she also does, she's a 5-cost singer, which can come in handy for other cards we run in this deck. For some card draw engine, I run 4 copies of Pete. We know him from set 11. He's a 5-cost inkable card, 5 strength, 5 willpower, quest 1. He has boost 1. And whenever he quests, you can look at the number of cards from top of your deck equal to the number of cards under Pete, and then choose 1 and put it into your hand. So he's basically draw 1 in the following turn, but you can also boost him multiple times. In the turn you played with 6 ink, you can boost him the first time, you can boost him the next turn, and so you can filter through 2 cards the next turn when he quests. And also he's a big body, he's a 5-cost singer, which can come in handy for this card maybe, Let It Go. I run 3 copies of Let It Go. After 60 or 70 games, I figured, okay, I need more spot removal for cards opponents rarely or never exert. So I included 3 copies of Let It Go, which is basically a Hades as a spell and also as song, so it can trigger Ariel Sonic Warrior's ability. Yeah, that's it for the 5-cost slot. Like I said, Merida is our centerpiece, and the second centerpiece is Ariel Sonic Warrior. 6-cost inkable character, 3 strength, 8 willpower, quests for 2. She has shift 4, but that is not important in this build. But her ability, every time you cast a song, you can pay 2 ink to deal 3 damage to chosen character, which can be really huge. So you can use ink, use more ink, deal more damage, you can sing with her, use ink again, and deal even more damage to wipe out an entire board with just 1 or 2 songs, which can be really, really strong. And her huge body with 8 willpower is hard to overcome for most of the decks, so you can safely quest with her almost every turn, and that makes Ariel Sonic Warrior so strong in this build. Also, on a 6-drop slot, we have the Tinkerbell. Inkable character, 4 strength, 5 willpower, quests for 2. When you play this character, you deal 1 damage to all opposing characters, and every time she banishes a character in a challenge, you can deal 2 damage to another chosen character. Which also, you want to deal damage, you want to stall on enemy questing, and Tinkerbell fits very well in this damage-based type of deck. Also, in the 6-drop slot, we have Goliath as our main card draw engine. We don't have a natural card draw engine like Dog or Friends on the Other Side or Woodchuck's Guidebook or something like that. So we need Goliath in turn 6 or with 6 ink. He's a 6-cost inkable character, 6 strength, 5 willpower, quests for 2. And at the end of your turn, if you have less than 2 cards, you draw up to 2 cards. And if you have more than 2 cards, you discard so many cards that you have only 2 cards left in hand, and he has the gargoyle downside if you have 3 or more cards in hand at the beginning of your turn, and Goliath is exerted. He doesn't ready. So Goliath is a big body. He draws you cards consistently, so you can draw 2 cards every turn, ink, play, draw more cards, and with his big body, he's very hard to overcome. And he does a great job in this build. And to finalize the 6-drop slot, we have, of course, the Omnidroid Shift. 6-cost inkable character, 6 strength, 6 willpower, quests for 2. You can shift him with 4 ink on the small Omnidroid character. And in some matchups, I really love to shift him instead of playing the Cinderella in turn 4, because then you can start challenging into stronger characters. And what he also has, if he has a card on it, he has resist +2, and so he's basically unbeatable in challenges except for really strong characters. And his resist +2 is what I really like about him. So you like basically exert him, challenge, sing, whatever, and he can't be dealt damage to. He's so strong, so good, and I really love him in this damage type build. So there are 3 more cards left in this build I want to show you, and 2 are Beyond the Horizon. It's a 7-cost uninkable song, and you can sing together. So if you have characters with cost 7 in total, you can exert them all, sing the song together, and then you can choose either you or your opponent or both players discard their entire hand and draw 3 new cards. What this card does is disrupt the enemy's game plan. So you're basically against a purple deck, if you're on the play and you go 1-drop into Tipo, into Cinderella, in turn 4, you can already sing Beyond the Horizon together, let your opponent discard his entire hand and draw 3 new cards. Also against dogs, I really found it very, very good if he is looking for Under the Sea, for example, and you can like sing it, discard his hand, after he found it maybe with a tramp play, and disrupt his game plan. Also a song which can trigger Ariel Sonic Warrior's ability, and I really love Beyond the Horizon in this build because it also works like as a secondary card draw engine for us. We can draw 3 new cards and refresh our hand cards. But that's not the spice, and the spice is the last card in this build. And that's the Mob Song. Only 1 copy of the Mob Song. It's a 10-cost uninkable card. It's a sing together song, and you can choose up to 3 characters or locations and deal 3 damages to them. And here comes Merida in handy. If you have Merida on board or use her as a singer for this song, you can then deal even more damage to all those characters chosen. Up to 5 damage actually to all of those characters you've been chosen, and wipe out an entire board with only this song. Some opponents in my testing games didn't see this card coming and took them by surprise. I really like the Mob Song. It's a tech card against wider boards, against like more aggro-ish builds, so you can deal with them more easily, and you should definitely try it. You can swap it out for some other card, but I really love it in this damage-based build. Yeah, like I said, if you like Blue Steel and want to give it a last ride for the Stat Championships, copy this list, try it out, sleeve it in. You will find the link in the video description below. If you're new to the channel, I'm always happy about new viewers, so click subscribe and leave a like on the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Flokki.